Okay, I will help myself with understanding spirometry normal obstructive versus restrictive by... Oh, wait a moment. Armando Hasudon. By Armando Hasudungan. Please like the original and subscribe.
In this video, we're going to look at spirometry and look at the differences between normal, obstructive pulmonary disease, and also restrictive lung disease. It is a good idea to recap the lung volumes and lung capacities before looking into this video. So one way to monitor lung function is by using a lung function test, such as a spirometry. If we breathe in and out normally in this lung volume measuring device, we can see our tidal volume, which is typically 500 mils or 0.5 liters.
Okay, so one more time. Tidal volume is a volume of the air, the change of the volume of the air between normal inhalation and normal exhalation. Yes, so amount of air that we get between normal inhalation and normal exhalation.
The graph here, the x-axis you can say is just the time, and on the y-axis is the lung volume.
Yeah, so this up-down, yes, is the lung volume.
So going up the y-axis is inspiration. The lung volume will increase when we inspire air in. And going down the y-axis is expiration. The lung volume will decrease when we breathe out, obviously. So now imagine taking a maximal deep breath in. This is the inspiratory reserve volume, also known as IRV. And now imagine
Okay, so one more time, we get maximum inspiration. So the maximum amount of air that we can get into the lungs is when we get maximum inspiration. Simple like that. If we breathe as deeply as possible, we are not able to get anything more. This is inspiratory reserve volume. Why it's inspiratory reserve volume? Because this is all of the air added to the tidal volume. Yes. So when we have this situation, we can, maybe another way, we can think of this also in a situation that we normally speak now. Yes, when you breathe normally, when you're sitting, lying, doing whatever, you can stop breathing and inhale something more. Yes, because you have still some reserve of inhalation. Yes, and this is how you can think about this inspiratory reserve volume.
taking a normal breath or normal breaths and then having a maximal expiration. This is your expiratory reserve volume, or ER.
So I suppose it's very analogical. Yes, so we are breathing normally, and then we are expiring to the end. Yes, we are expiring everything that we have in the lungs, and this difference between normal expiration, normal quiet expiration, and expiration to the bottom is the expiratory reserve volume.
RV. And the air remaining in your lungs after the maximal expiration is the residual volume, or RV.
So residual volume is just this air that cannot be breathed out no matter how hard you try. Yes. So for example, air in the airways, of course, the lungs are also not empty. Things like that. Just the air that we cannot expire no matter how we would try.
You just always have that there. Using these lung volumes, you can measure the lung capacities. The lung capacities help define functioning lungs. The vital lung capacity refers to the maximum amount of air expired from a fully inflated lung. This means it's the tidal volume, TV, plus the inspiratory reserve volume, plus the expiratory reserve volume. The functional residual capacity, which should not be mixed up with the residual volume, represents the volume of air remaining in the lungs after expiration of a normal breath.
Yes,
So it's
so how much of the air is still in the lungs after normal expiration?
residual volume plus expiratory reserve volume. Very important is also the total lung capacity, which is the sum of all the lung volumes. In a typical adult male, it's about 6 liters. We will use a typical adult male total lung capacity as an example in the following scenarios. So this first graph represents a normal lung. Air coming in and carbon dioxide coming out. The alveoli are inflating and deflating normally. Dynamic measurements of lung volumes and capacities have been used to help determine lung dysfunction. The vital capacity is really important to remember. Again, it's the tidal volume plus the inspiratory reserve volume plus the expiratory reserve volume.
So generally, the vital capacity is from all air. Yes, we start from the air, that amount of air in the lungs that we have at the top of the peak inhalation. Yes, we are trying to get as much air as possible into the lungs. So at the very peak, we have this the total lung volume. Yes, and then we expire to the bottom. Yes, and all of this volume that we expired to the bottom after inhaling to the top is this vital capacity.
The forced vital capacity is basically the same thing as the vital capacity. But by definition, it is the largest amount of air that can be expired after a maximal inspiratory effort. So you breathe very deep in, and then you breathe out fully. The forced vital capacity is frequently measured clinically as an index of pulmonary function. It gives useful information about the strength of the respiratory muscles and other aspects of pulmonary function. Let us draw it in a graph of a normal lung. Here you have the volume on the x-axis and flow through the lung on the y. So a normal adult has a total lung capacity of 6 liters. So here is the volume set here at 6 liters. So from 0 to 6 is a total lung capacity. The forced vital capacity, FVC, is again the largest amount of air that can be expired after you take the maximal breath in. The spirometry helps document and measure all this. So imagine taking a deep breath in and then exhaling it out as forcefully and as quickly as you can. We can thus say this is your vital capacity or forced vital capacity, which in reality is your tidal volume plus your inspiratory reserve volume plus your expiratory reserve volume. Thus,
Okay, and I suppose for today it's enough. Thank you very much.